The new podcast, In the Shadow of Princeton, starts as the matriarch of a prominent Princeton family is found stabbed to death in her locked basement. Investigators look from a serial attacker to her family to Princeton University students. One hot-blooded investigator sees a conspiracy. Is he way off base, or does privilege let you get away with murder? In the Shadow of Princeton is available wherever you get podcasts, or you can binge it ad-free by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify.
It feels like you can get your credit scores anywhere these days. Random websites, card statements, budgeting apps, heck, even your dog might bark out a few numbers. It's true. Credit Karma isn't the only place you can find them. But we actually do more with your scores to help you find your next financial opportunity. Like a more rewarding credit card, a game plan that helps you pay down debt faster, or a personal loan to help you save more on interest payments each month. Cha-ching! The possibilities are kinda endless. Download Intuit Credit Karma today to get started.
Hello, hello. Welcome back to Peak Northwest, an outdoors and travel podcast by the Oregonian and Oregon Live, dedicated to the adventure and exploration of our beautiful Pacific Northwest. I'm Jamie Hale.
And I'm Vicki Connor. Together, we take you to some of the most beautiful and interesting destinations in our region, discussing where to go, what to do, and places to see. And today, we're diving into some of the best holiday events across the Pacific Northwest.
I know what some of you may be thinking. It's not even Halloween. Thanksgiving isn't for another month. But look, when it comes to travel, a month or two is nothing. And because we're talking about holiday events that might be worth traveling to, we really wanted to make sure you had at least like a little bit of time to make a reservation should anything we talk about strike your fancy.
Let's jump into this, Jamie, because I feel like both you and I are usually back on the East Coast for the holidays. So we're giving like this advice to other people. We're like, you handle these reservations here. We're going to be elsewhere.
I do in every other situation.
Okay.
But this year I am going to be back in the East Coast for the holidays. I've been writing about holiday events since I started at the Oregonian back in 2013. Mm-hmm. And I feel like I always do this holiday events guide. And usually it's like Portland-centric, Tuba Christmas and Zoo Lights and all that stuff. Yeah. But there are like a number of really interesting like towns across the Northwest. These holiday events that I'm like, man, that would be super interesting to go and see. Get a hotel room, immerse yourself into this new place for a moment. And when it comes to these other holiday events that are outside of like Portland, Seattle area, the places I'm most drawn to are small towns going hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like this is their thing.
Yeah. Like every small town in America has a tree lighting festival, maybe one of those drive-through light experiences. Sure. Those are fine. But I'm interested in ones that like see that and they go, let's up the ante a little bit. Let's do something a little bit different here. Yeah. So we've got a few spots of places that have something a little bit different, a little bit extra that might be worth taking a trip to go and see.
All right. We got to start with Leavenworth.
Gotta start with Leavenworth. Okay, for folks who aren't familiar, who haven't heard the previous episodes we've done, Leavenworth is a Bavarian theme town, I guess is the right way to say it, in the Washington Cascades. It's kitschy, but Leavenworth rules. I love this place.
It's so cool.
Like Oktoberfest is kind of like their main thing, but they also started doing these winter festivals. They call it Leavenworth Christmastown, and it is, as I understand, a total scene.
Yeah. I only have gone for Oktoberfest, but while I was there, I went to the reindeer farm that is in Leavenworth, and that was super cool. Not, explicitly part of Christmastown, at least to my knowledge. Maybe they bring in the reindeer into Christmastown, downtown Leavenworth, but it's just like everything about Leavenworth screams, holiday Christmas vibes. Mm-hmm. You got the like nutcracker store that's there. That is amazing.
The museum, the full Nutcracker Museum.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That place is crazy. You've got isn't there like, I believe there's a bakery called like the Gingerbread House.
So, yeah.
And it is like a little gingerbread house where they make really good gingerbread, obviously.
Yes. Yep.
And of course, all your like, sausages and beer and all that kind of good, German culture stuff.
Yeah. And so in Leavenworth, down to like even the gas station, everything is Bavarian themed as far as like the architecture, the buildings. And then, of course, what adds to the whole vibe is you have the mountains behind these Bavarian buildings, and they're just like in your face, snow-capped, beautiful.
Incredible. Yeah. So the Christmastown event itself runs from November 29th to December 24th this year. And it's got like, everything. It's got the choirs and the bands and the carolers. And of course, you've got the Santa strolling carolers in the downtown village that's illuminated with lights, and a gingerbread house exhibition. And like, obviously so many places to spend money and buy gifts and stuff. And like, there's a picture here on their website of like every tree in town illuminated with like 1,000 lights and like kids sledding. And obviously like so many people there. This is like, you're not going to escape the crowds at Leavenworth Christmastown. You got to be ready to jump into like the full experience. But that experience is pretty fun and pretty unique here in the Northwest.
Yeah. And going off the crowds, I would say most hotels know that people are traveling to experience Christmastown. So again, need to book this early. They're kind of raising the prices on hotels for this period of time.
I don't know for sure, but I feel like it might already be too late.
It might.
This might be a next year thing if you're into this.
You could, by chance get like someone's canceled Airbnb or something, but I'm sure stuff is pretty booked even right now. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So Leavenworth, a whole thing. I mean, we could do a whole episode on Leavenworth, and I think we maybe in fact have. Yeah. But taking things down a notch in terms of like the crowds, the intensity, if you will, is one of I think the only place in this list that I've actually personally done. The Shore Acres State Park Holiday Lights, just outside of North Bend, Coos Bay area. A beautiful park. It has like this formal English garden, but then also like a path that goes down to a beach that's in this cove. Very cool park any time of year. But in the wintertime, they do this really elaborate light display there of like, spouting whales and little crabs. It's like an ocean themed light display for the most part.
Cute.
And you can kind of walk through it, and there's like, there's hot cider and tea and stuff like that. Very cool, very cute. They go all out with it. I love this light show. It is a little bit different. And the fact that it's like right on the ocean is also really cool. I remember finishing with a light show and walking over to this like, viewpoint over the ocean. And coming out of the lights, I couldn't see anything. It was all dark. And so I kind of felt my way to the guardrail and just stood over like this like dark black ocean and just listened to the waves crashing in and sort of felt them crash into the rock. Because it's just so far out there. Wow. It was a really cool experience. So I can't recommend this one enough.
Yeah. And how crowded was this when you experienced it?
It was not that crowded. I mean, it definitely gets like crowded for this place, but we're not talking Leavenworth here.
Yeah.
Like it has like a parking lot that you have to pay $5 to park. And they used to do, I'm not sure if they're still doing it. They used to do like timed entry. I think that was sort of the height of COVID. But this goes every night, Thanksgiving through New Year's Eve, including Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. And it's open every night from 4:30 p.m. to 9 p.m. So that is, a great place to go if you want to have a holiday getaway on the coast. You want to go for a little road trip. That's I think, a perfect spot to do it.
Yeah, I think this would be really fun. Like if you are in our type of situation where you are spending the actual holidays elsewhere, you know, leading up to it sometime in December, make a little trip for either your friends or whoever ahead of time, people who are local to Portland, go take a little coast trip and experience these holiday lights. It can be fun.
Totally. You can book tickets for the light show online in the Oregon State Parks website. So just Google Shore Acres Light Show booking and you can find it. It's like $5 and that covers the cost of parking. So make sure you do that before you go to make sure you can get in. But once you do, it's a really cool experience.
Amazing. Where to next?
A spot that I've always kind of looked at, like when I was a kid, we used to go to Sun River in the winter, but we never went for the big winter event, the big fall event, which is it's the event called the Grand Illumination. Ooh. So Sun River, just south of Bend, sort of a little resort town. Obviously, it's got that kind of resort town vibe. But they have like this, like, you know, it's ostensibly a tree lighting ceremony, but they also have like a big fireworks show. And a bunch of like live music, entertainment, train rides, telescope viewings, putt-putt golf, like all kinds of stuff. It seems really cute and fun. They have sleigh rides. Like it's so, again, so kind of kitschy, but like really, really over the top to the point where it's just like, there's so much to do and so much fun. Like you're going to find something that you enjoy there.
Yeah. And this is over what period of time? A weekend, one day, multiple weekends?
The Grand Illumination itself is just one day. That's November 23rd. Okay. That's Saturday. But like they have like, you know, a lot of stuff going on at Sun River throughout the holidays. So like, you know, if you don't go for that one event, there are like, you know, they do Thanksgiving dinner. They do Christmas dinner and New Year's dinner. The sleigh rides are there kind of throughout the season. So they're going to have stuff going on at Sun River throughout the holiday season. There's like a holiday light show that goes on for a while, like nightly from Thanksgiving through New Year's. So like if you just go in the holiday season, you're going to find a lot of stuff to do. But the Grand Illumination, I'm not like a big fireworks guy, but like something about like Thanksgiving fireworks, does it for me. Like off season, not quite the right holiday fireworks is really interesting. And the fact that they just kind of go all out for this, like illuminating the tree and the place. It's like, I've always had this thought of like, you know, all these light shows this time of year are something that brings people together. And that's such a special part about the fall holiday season is like people in this like season of darkness all like gather together like moths to the light. So we can like, you know, be together and build community and be in community. And that's like so important to do. So I kind of like, you know, I typically am not like a huge big event guy. Like I don't love crowds, but when it's like this time of year, I kind of find myself more drawn towards these big events. I like seeing people and I like seeing people be happy and being together. So I don't know. There's something about these that really do it for me this time of year.
Yeah. And so this is taking place the weekend before Thanksgiving. So if you're the type of person who is like getting out your Christmas decor and now as someone's making the turkey, like this might be for you.
That's right. You know, it's never too early to start decorating for Christmas, I guess.
All right. What's next?
This is like a great example of small town going hard. Jacksonville, Oregon has their Victorian Christmas celebration every year. I feel like it's the only place I know that has like a specifically Victorian Christmas. So there's something like sort of like Dickensian about that idea, you know, but
I'm so curious what this entails.
Yeah. Well, there's like a lot of sort of Victorian architecture there because Jacksonville was a like gold mining town at the end of the 19th century. So like there's a lot of money. And so you have these sort of like more Victorian architecture. It's similar to like Baker City in that way, where there's like some really interesting architecture where there was a lot of money in that period of time. So you kind of get that vibe there generally. But of course, they do a tree lighting ceremony. They have visits not from Santa Claus, but from Father Christmas. There is a difference there, I'm sure. I'm not really clear on it. But that is there. Holiday trolley lights tours.
Ooh.
Another like a twist. Like again, they could have just done a light tour, but they added a trolley to it. Why not? I love it.
That's cool.
A holiday parade they do on December 7th. And then just kind of ongoing events. There's like, this Beekman house is this Victorian house. They do Christmas tours there. They do these trolley tours, like history tours throughout town. All the little shops are open. Jacksonville is a really cute little town. It's a great place to stay. It's got great wine country if you're into that. So it's just like a nice place to sort of explore and walk around. It's not huge, but it's like a tight community. And I really like spending time in Jacksonville. So I like the idea of being in this little tight community and seeing like their local holiday traditions. You know what I mean? There's something really sweet about that.
I like all the different takes on the holidays here. It's really cool to see. Like, I have not experienced any type of Victorian Christmas in a small town before, so that is pretty cool. How long is that drive from Portland to Jacksonville?
It's a little over 4 hours, depending on traffic. So sort of like 4 or 5 hours to get down to Jacksonville.
Gotcha.
So it's definitely a trip. It's definitely an overnighter. You find yourself a nice little hotel in town. You can, really, I like the idea of like staying in a little hotel downtown and being able to walk to everything. Yeah. Just pop out your window and see what's going on down there. Because I mean, one of the things I love on the website that Jacksonville has about this event is surprise bells and bows. That's Beaus, carolers and bagpipe appearances.
Wow.
And it says, you never know who you'll see ambling the streets of Jacksonville. You never know.
You truly don't.
Can't wait to find out.
Oh, that's incredible.
Very fun.
Last one on the list here. Where are we going?
We're going to the small town of Bremerton, which is just kind of across the water from Seattle over there in the kind of islandy part of the Olympic Peninsula. Bremerton does this event. This is a lot smaller than the other ones we've talked about, but I love this for the small town going hard. This is Krampusnacht Bremerton. Okay, Krampusnacht Bremerton. How familiar are you with Krampus?
I know that Raven's Manor, our Halloween bar here in Portland, will switch over to Krampus theme in, around Christmas time. But I actually don't know much about Krampus lore or anything about Krampus. So please do tell.
Krampus is like this, this sort of horned, kind of creepy, demonic looking figure associated with Christmas time that is of like unclear origin. It's sort of from like the Alps, the Alpens area. And I think the idea was that people dressed as Krampus would sort of attempt to like scare children or something like that. I don't know a lot about Krampus, but it's sort of like, an anti-Santa Claus, if you will.
That was my impression. Because there's similar colors going on, but then I imagine it's like a kid going up being like, oh, Santa, Santa. And then it turns around and it's like this evil demon thing and scares the child.
Yeah, if you're a kid and you're trying to get gifts, you don't want to be on Krampus's bad list. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like that's kind of the deal. But of course we live in this day and age where people are embracing the horror and the scary and everything. And so Krampus has sort of seen this resurgence among people who are really into this. Portland, obviously you're going to find Krampus happening. Seattle, obviously, but Bremerton has this whole Krampusnacht. And I'm sure this is just like a couple of people who started this, who just wanted to do it. But it's evolved into this thing where people dressed as Krampus and other characters roam the streets of downtown Bramerton, visiting participating businesses and posing for photos for fans. There are photos I saw online of this event, and it's exactly as advertised. If you're hanging out in downtown Bramerton around this time of year, on December 7th, I guess to be specific, you can see really elaborate Krampus costumes just walking around town. And I love that. That's so odd and so perfect.
Yeah.
That people, not just that someone in Bramerton thought to do this, but that the town was like, yeah, we're into this. We're gonna allow this to happen, and be cool with it. Like all the pictures I saw were like people smiling, shoulder to shoulder with Krampus. So I just feel like, I don't know if this is one that like you travel to Bramerton specifically for, unless you're like a real Krampus head.
Yeah.
But like, if you're looking for a reason to go to Bramerton, hey, the go on December 7th, like that's a great time to go do it, and check out the town, check out the food, and get a picture with Krampus while you're at it.
On their website, they say Krampus is secular and all-inclusive. So there you go.
Yeah. There you go.
Oh, man. Wow. There is a scary photo on here. It's like the teeth of the Krampus are really like moldy.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
Yeah, I mean, amazing. So it looks like if you yourself are like, oh, I'm really into Krampus, like you can register as a performer for this.
Oh my God, that's even better. Yeah, like, I mean, let's go. Again, this is why I love the community coming together, right? The Krampus community, even like this is your time. If you're like at home alone doing Krampus cosplay, contact Krampusnacht folks or your local Krampus community and get out there and do it together. This time of year, it's a perfect time of year to do this sort of thing together.
Oh my gosh. Get to be in the parade.
Yeah.
There you go.
See, that's what I'm saying. I love this. I love holiday events. It's like, I feel a little cheesy being like, oh, these holiday events are so fun, but it's really nice and sweet. And I think it's nice that people all want to get together. Like, who doesn't love some hot apple cider? Who doesn't love like some cool lights? And I love going into another community to see all those people and to be a part of that. Everyone's so welcoming usually in these circumstances. If you're a Krampus lover or a Santa lover, there's something for you in these communities.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I just love everyone's commitment in the region to like dressing up and going hard into these events,
Definitely. You've got to, but like, who's got closets full of this stuff? I don't know.
Definitely people in Portland and Seattle, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, worst case scenario, just walk around Portland.
People will not bat an eye.
No, you'll come across a Krampus, you'll come across a Santa, come across some sort of weird light display. I mean, it's easy. Just, I think the key here is like, what a great time to be in the community, to go out and see stuff. Don't get stuck at home. It's cozy at home, but don't get stuck there. Let's go out and enjoy and appreciate and come together in this moment. Yeah.
All right. Well, this is Leona's first holiday season. Is there anything that you are definitely wanting to take her to? I'm not sure that Krampus will be on this list for a baby girl.
Well, again, we're going back east for like Christmas and New Year, and I guess part of Hanukkah as well. And but gosh, I hadn't thought too much about it. Definitely something local. Maybe this is a year to check out Zoo Lights. I know Zoo Lights is kind of a scene, but again, I feel like I kind of want to embrace the scene,
Yes. And I will say that like something similar happens, you might be familiar, in DC. I think it's one of the baseball stadiums they set up with these crazy lights. And when my niece was born, probably around the same age as what Leona will be, she was just obsessed with all the lights. Like it's just, sensory overload. So I think zoo lights would be the move.
Yeah, totally. And that's a great thing to go to with some friends. We've got a couple other friends who just also had babies, and friends who don't have babies who also can enjoy stuff. And I think that's such a cool place to go hang out with people.
Totally.
Yeah. What about you, Vicky? Are you planning on any holiday events, traditions?
I don't know. As soon as we stop recording, I might look into booking something in Leavenworth because I feel like every year, and once it comes to mind, like everything's booked. And I still want to bring Nick to Leavenworth. He has not been there yet.
Oh my gosh.
So, I mean, I would go back solely just to like feed the reindeer again. That was the highlight for me. I freaking love those reindeer. They're so cute. And they looked like really healthy and just like they were having a fun time. So, would love to go there. Show Nick the soup spot that we both agreed upon. That's really good there.
That bone broth place.
Yes. Yep.
Oh my God. I was going to say that's like so when it's cold, especially.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Well, pet a reindeer, drink some bone broth for me. That sounds like a great way to spend the season.
Uh-huh.
Well, folks, that will do it for us for today. Until next time, you can watch our videos on the Oregonians YouTube channel and view all of our travel and outdoors coverage on OregonLive.com/travel, as well as HereIsOregon.com.
Please leave us a rating or review if you enjoyed the show. And if you want to support this podcast as well as our local journalism, please consider a subscription to Oregon Live. You can find details at OregonLive.com/podsupport. Also, if you're a fan of the show and you're interested in potentially sponsoring it, you can get in touch with our marketing people at advertise@Oregonian.com. This episode of the show is produced by me, Vicki Connor, alongside Jamie Hale.
Stay safe and happy travels, everyone. Until next time, we leave you with this 10 seconds of Zen.